Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, getting into the final match of the evening. I am Sprawl, joined again by Mega Man.
Yo.
We are more than excited to bring you this train matchup, OpTic versus Selfless. How do you think this is going to go down?
I think that this is a bold start for Selfless. They're going to start on the terrorist side of this map and pistol round. Oh, man, I don't know what to think of that, man. I just hope that their T-side isn't lackadaisical moving forward here. I think that with the way that OpTic played this map earlier today, they had a dynamite terrorist side half. Mixwell and Naf went off. If they can continue that form, we talked about, can they continue to be consistent? Can those two continue to step up? We're about to find out right here, Sprawl. We are live into the pistol round, ladies and gentlemen, with OpTic on CT. Selfless choosing to go terrorist side, so I really hope they bring something to the table here. We're going to see.
Yeah, super awkward if they don't. as mentioned on the desk, as we'll see Daps playing very passive in the B-bomb site, and it looks like you'll sail an 8 on towards that bomb plant location, but yeah, it is short. As you have mentioned, Daps does find one, and we can see how aggressive Selfless is going towards CT spawn, more or less, trying to get aggressive control of this bomb site, and it's very difficult to hold this site, as we'll see Mitch attempt to just continue the aggression. He finally goes down now, and it will be a 4-on-3.
It was really good from Mitch, just stopping them in their tracks for so long. But there's the trades again. Nafly goes down. Stanislaw is able to clean things up. They don't have a nade or a Molotov for the post plant. So the big thing about this is they need to peek out. They need to be able to take these players down immediately. They know that there's one inner upper. Stanislaw is going to be able to find mainline. They're going to chase him down. Mixwell ends it on Uber. And there you go. That's that stat line GB James was talking about earlier. How risky it is to go inside on the pistol rounds. And I liked what Selfless did. They got inside. While they were planning, they pushed up the train lanes. They tried to keep the CTs at bay. They tried to push them back into the backside of the bomb site. They just lost the aim duels. And that was what it all came down to, was they got in their faces with those Glocks. They closed the gap on those long-range USPs. They just weren't able to get the frags. So a nice thought from Selfless. That's the proper way to play that situation. You know, you have a player drop back just in case you lose those long-range fights.
Yeah,
and you push up inside. But it was a full retake on inside from the CT side of OpTic, too. Daps was just spotting from the top side of the ladder, so it was a planned retake situation. But here you go.
Oh, my. That is a lot of bodies, as Daps spots out literally everybody. He takes down one, but now it's going to be a bit of a foot race. Selfless would love to get this bomb down here. Nice nade from Stan as he's going to continue up towards the bomb site. And Selfless, they love to be able to steal around like this, but it's not looking so. Uber now left with an MP9 and a Dream. I suppose he might just attempt to flank, take away some more weapons.
Oh, they're going to see this coming.
See how much looking at it. Done. Uber. It'd be great if you could get some more. Like, they got that bomb plant. That's fantastic. Again, Daps pushing up. I don't know if that's necessary. He gains the intel, but the bomb plant, good news for Selfless.
Well, at this point, he wants to take guns away. Big thing about that was it was actually 4 SMGs on the back of OpTic and only 1 rifle, and they kept the rifle. So they didn't lose that on the back of Rush. He's 0-2-0. Not a big deal for him. 5-0-0 for Stanislaw to start things off. Got a couple of kills in the pistol round, was able to shut him down after the bomb plant. But the big thing was back-to-back bomb plants for Selfless.
Exactly.
Very minimal investment into that last round, so it's AKs across the board. Nifty without an AWP, but his rifles have been pretty solid. However, Mixwell's have been dynamite throughout this series. So here you go. Mixwell opening it up, playing a little bit of Z connector. We're going to see the push come out now from Team Selfless right here.
Here we go. Stanislaw with the UMP, able to find mainline, and Mitch finally returns, but Mixwell right back at him, and they've created a 2-on-4 Relics. He puts a lot of damage into Rush, eventually takes him down, but he loses his teammate and then goes down to Mixwell, and Mixwell is looking sick right now. 3 frags when he picks up the AWP, and OpTic, they continue their scoreline here. So Selfless, like you had stated, that is like base. If you don't win pistol, like that's best case scenario to get 2 plants in a row to get that really optimal buy, but not going to work out. And Stanislaw literally keeps his UMP moving into this, so he's going to build some bank account.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, they know that they're going against Nico, no bomb plan on a gun round, force up in the third.
It's almost a deco.
Yeah, pretty much only one player, Nifty, is going to be on the Glock. He wants to save up for the AWP because he needs to go toe-to-toe with Mixwell. They can't allow Mixwell to take control of this matchup. They absolutely cannot. That nade just destroyed mainline, though. I think he caught that with the crotch, and it blew up at his feet.
Yeah, not fun at
Rush,
all.
though, back-to-back kills. Relics and Nifty off the board. Long-range Deagle going to find a little bit of damage, but Nafly is going to decapitate Mitch nonetheless. We are going to see slowly but surely the forces of Selfless dwindle down here. Mainline with 12 HP and a Dream, and that Dream is dead.
The idea behind the deco on a map like this is that it favors long ranges, so that's why the op is good. But I still can't get behind it, though. Like, they all go towards Ivy, and they try and just make it work, but I just don't. I want to see something more creative out of Selfless on a round like that. Just going for a deco and trying to take aim duels when Mixwell's just tearing down player after player with his op and such.
Well, the big thing about that, too, is when they were in their second round eco, they didn't buy up anything. They went inside. They were able to get a bomb plan.
Right.
You look at the economy that they have going into this round, they're lacking a little bit of utility. Not a lot of utility, but a bomb plan in that last round would have helped out tenfold. They would have had all of the nades that they would have been looking for. You know, Nifty would have had head armor because that's a dangerous thing. You know, without head armor, you're one shot from that. I mean, still Stanislaw with the UMP.
Yep.
And that can one-shot you when he gets close enough. You know, M4 is going to take your head off. AK, whatever. But, you know, it's just the principle behind that is they don't have the economy to really support going for those big buys, and they're not going to have a lot backing that as well. So this is kind of a must-win round right here for Selfless because they don't want OpTic to, A, build up the bank because their rounds have been clean, and B, they need to start stringing some rounds together because they chose to go terrorist side. And you look at the money. I don't know if Kevin can hit tab for us real fast, but you look at the money on the CT side. It's already starting to stack.
Yeah, that's terrifying for Selfless as, again, stringing 2 rounds in a row later in the half. Naf able to take down mainline. Nice work from him. And Selfless with 50 seconds remaining on the clock. I don't know if Mitch is going to read that Dap's playing with his teammate here and actually fallen back. Mitch might have an opportunity to create an opening as we see the T's lurking onto B. He goes down, though. What a swift shot from Naf. And Naf's one of the players that we need to see show up from OpTic, and he's doing big things as we got a 3-on-5.
Look at this from Uber, though.
Nice work. Takes down Mixwell, and they get the bomb planted.
I would have liked to see him be maybe a little bit more patient on that, but again, he gets that opening pick. They clear out the backside, and now they got to worry about this player that's pushed up through the lanes. This is what they did in the pistol round that was so effective. But slowly and surely, Stanislaw still has the UMP, finally swaps it out for the AK-47. He annihilates Relics. Nifty goes down.
Wow.
Rush comes in for 2 more at the end of this round and closes it out. 5-0 now for OpTic Gaming. And, I mean, just look at the scores. Dap's 2-2. That's because he's basically solo holding the inside train yard. But the rest of them have only gotten one death so far. I mean, that's, what, 6 kills in 5 rounds for the entirety of Selfless.
Not a good look early at all for the Selfless side. And I wonder if it lurks into their mentality. They're like, was this the correct decision to start on the T side? It's hard to say as we'll continue on here. Moving into the 6th round, AKs across the field, no op for Nifty, and it looks like Mixwell is going to get aggressive with the AWP towards Ivy, and that's going to be a beautiful shot to start the round as they drop a smoke as well, successfully allow him to exit. Takes a bit of damage, but not a big deal as another pick. And coming back from a player deficit on Train specifically on the T side is so difficult.
I like what he did there, though, too. He had Nafly there to drop a smoke out. Yep. But he didn't just charge all the way back down Ivy. He hid behind the little boiler box, waited for that smoke to bloom, and then jumped through it.
Right. Yep.
That way he gives even less opportunity. If they would have chased him, they would have been able to see where he was going, tracked him in towards the smoke. And these pop flashes that they're throwing on Ivy, I mean, I know that Selfless keeps trying to push towards Ivy, but these pop flashes are destroying them, and you can see it right here. I mean, Rush gets another pick over in that area. Nafly's been holding it down. Daps gets in on the action, doubles up there on the inside train yard. The only reason he's at the bottom of the scoreboard is because he hasn't really seen much action. And, I mean, again, mainline 0-0 and 6, Uber 1-1 and 5. Uber's the one that I've said in the past needs to step up. He's the one that needs to take over control of these matches for his team. And now we're going to see a force out here from the Selfless side. They are starting to get the money bonus, but, I mean, 6-0. And, again, it makes you question that choice of starting off on the terror side of this map.
Here we go. Looks to be a smoke execute onto the A-bomb site. And they're going to be cut off by this Molotov. Mainline decides to go right through it, and eventually they will group up, but a little separated as blind and through the smoke. Some castling going on here as Mainline able to take down Rush, and Relics burns Naf to death. So 3-on-3, not an impossible round here for the T side, but Mainline falls to Stan, and now a 2-on-2.
Yeah, Mixwell coming around from the ladder flank. I mean, it's a puggy strategy, but it works in this situation, and now he's got the line on Nifty. Spots him out, takes him down, keeps the record alive, the dream alive. 7-0 now for OpTic Gaming, and man, I'm telling you what, if I play against OpTic, I'm vetoing Train. They look very good on this, and look at the money that they have right now.
It's incredible.
It's insane.
He got 16K on NAF. Well, that's pre-buy, of course. But,
well, the big thing is with 4 of them dying, they are going to be able to buy out here, so they're going to use some of that because obviously if you get capped at 16K, you don't accrue any more money. So for you newer players, say that you're playing a matchmaking or an ESEA pug or something like that, if you get capped up to money, tell one of your teammates not to buy out the next round if they die, so you can try to get rid of that money because you don't earn any more going after that.
Oh, look, Stanislaw with a triple and ladder. That was ridiculous. And mainline fires back, but at what cost? Finds another one, 2-on-2.
Nifty with this up. He's got to do work. I don't know if Daps actually spotted him out on top of the train. Nafly sure as hell did. Finds that headshot. Now they know the main line is stuck here behind either the orange train or the E-box, and they're going to go for the spray battle. Double peak at the same time. 8-0 for OpTic Gaming. Unrelenting pressure on this Selfless team right now.
Yeah, they're looking fantastic, and if you're an OpTic fan, this is exactly what you wanted to see coming into this Mixwell.
There's the pause.
Okay, there we go. So, and I think that's rightfully called for.
Absolutely.
8-0, like, there's already an incredible economy. To be fair, if you pick the T side, you could probably even warrant an earlier pause, I feel, if things really aren't going well, because once you get a foothold, once you get that incredible economy on the CT side, it's just so difficult to break. Other maps, you have a little bit more of a chance, but OpTic just rolling.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because you look at the money situation on the OpTic Gaming side, and the one with the lowest bank is the one that actually has the most kills because I think Stan has actually dropped over a rifle or something like that, like I talked about before. Yep. He gets up towards the money cap. He shares the love with his teammates. That way he can continue to stack up money as they go. Right. Stanislaw 13-3, and, you know, I was talking with Garrett. I was talking with GB James beforehand, and they said, you know, Stanislaw, all of these people that have played on teams with Stanislaw have said that, you know, he is just a great teammate. He's an awesome dude. He plays his role to a T. He is a phenomenal player, and right now he's showing that here. And again, I mean, what is that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 kills in 8 rounds for the entirety of Selfless right now. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, and let's take a trip in the time machine, shall we? Go back to, remember a lineup called Coast. Stanislaw was one of the guys that came into that roster, and just the amount of success after he came in was incredible. And there's a lot of, you want to see some drama, look that up. But anyhow.
We're not going to go into that.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the kind of player he was. And I was excited to see how he continued and doing big things here for OpTic. Again, 8-0, just an incredible start. And it is a CT-sided map, so you expect that they have a good start. But still, if you pick the T side and you don't take pistol and you don't have anything creative to offer, why'd you pick the T side?
Well, honestly, watching OpTic play Train today, I'm starting to think that it's just an OpTic-sided map. They started off. I mean, they beat up Win Out on this map, starting on the terrorist side. Their executes, their timings, their trades were so on point that there was just nothing that Win Out could do. You know, when they did the interview there with Yell at the end of the last matchup when they moved on after Cobblestone, he kind of mentioned that, you know, they were playing lazy, they were playing tired. You know, they weren't, you know, getting in their face and everything like that. And it begs the question, well, why didn't you adapt? Why didn't you, do anything like that? I think that it wasn't necessarily because they couldn't adapt. I think it was just because OpTic was just punishing them so hard across the map at every single different avenue of attack. And right now, it's the adverse side of that. Selfless, they're not getting their trades. They're not getting those opening kills. You're seeing Daps pick up double kills on the inside bomb site. You're seeing Rush pick up doubles over on Ivy. Mixwell picked up in the first gun round 3 from Z Hallway. Didn't get traded out. There was no utility to throw smoke in there to choke that area off that he couldn't pick you from. And that's the big thing, is it's not just a matter of great trades. It's a matter of they're not getting the refrags that are necessary to be successful in these rounds. So Selfless, you know, what they're talking about right now is probably, well, A, they're going on a force here with Tech 9s and armor. So I kind of expect to see something maybe fast enter. And going into the next gun round, I need to see a faster strategy from them. I want to see them do kind of what OpTic did on their terrorist side earlier. Get that player out mid. Get down towards Old Hell. Get down past Bomb Train. Try to lurk out. Kill that player that's at Ivy so your other teammates can come down through Ivy, because that seems to be where they're favoring going right now. 2-3 players almost every single gun round. And if they're going to continue to go there, they need somebody on the outside train yard that's going to distract somebody from Ivy, because they're double teaming Ivy right now on OpTic side.
Yeah, and just to continue your point of getting in their face, one of the last rounds that we saw come down to a 1v1 was just basically a light buy smoke execute onto A, where they just got in their face. And it was like, okay, you created a 3-on-3 and then created a 1v1 in the end. And you didn't get the round, but we'll see if that kind of style is going to work out for them, as it looks like we are back into things here. Light buy for Selfless. They have full loss bonus, so this amount of buy will still allow them to get that rifle round in the next.
And
but
look,
this still gives them a chance
again. 4 towards Ivy again here for Selfless, 1 distract towards inside. They've got 1 player, Nafly, who's on and off now. It's a double op setup here for the CTs. And things are going to get a little bit dangerous here, but Nafly finds that 1 player inside, and now they're going to push through the smoke. And this is going to actually get dangerous here for Mixwell. He goes down. Wow. Nifty actually finds Rush, so this is a decent-looking round, but they're going to wrap around the backside. That nade is going to, well, I thought it was going to do more damage, but they're going to leave Daps over here. Stanislaw going to be able to find 2 on Daps. Stanislaw pulling out the USP. He's going to find 1, and Uber can't hit the op shot. And they do eventually get cleaned out after finding 2 picks, so it's 9-0 for OpTic. But again, I mean, they're going so heavy on Ivy, you need that mid-presence in T-Con.
And they almost created an opportunity for themselves in that it looked like Rush was not willing to allow them to pick up that op. Like, Mixwell goes down without doing very much. They get an op now, and he doesn't want it to spiral out of control, so he pushes the smoke to try and take them down. He goes down as well, though, and again, it continues to spiral. But Selfless can't get anything out of it. No round on the board just yet. 9-0 as the half shutout. It could be a reality at this point. Selfless, they haven't shown too much.
Up on op battle inside.
Finding the first pick here as he was playing that op towards the lower ramp at B. As Daps is going to try and follow it up. He actually drops a forward smoke opposite to kind of the forward smoke from the T side, and he is fully white screen, just squirming around on this ladder. Mixwell finds 1, and Daps is still here.
That's the biggest part about that. Daps coming around from the back lines. He stayed alive for so long. Mixwell actually bailed him out, picking that player that was pushing on sidewalk. If he gets that pick on Daps, that might tilt the round a little bit more, but 5 alive at the end of that. That was a fast strategy towards inside, but it comes down to Nafly playing close on the inner lower ramp, gets the opening pick, slows the push because a pop flash comes in towards inner lower, and they just stop dead in their tracks. They can't progress further than that. They have to drop a smoke out onto sidewalk from that point forward, and then the rotation just comes in and just suffocates that inside bomb site. 10-0 for OpTic Gaming. I'm not going to jinx it, but this is looking... I mean, obviously it's really one-sided, but I mean, this could be a complete slaughter.
Yeah, could be that shutout as mentioned as...
Well, that's where we talked about the consistency of OpTic right now. You look at the scoreboard, you got Stanislaw, Rush, and Nafly up there, but the kill difference between Rush, Nafly, Daps, and Mixwell is 1 kill.
Yeah, everybody is pulling their weight, that's for certain, as Naf is going to find another one with the AWP, and Mixwell is going to follow it up, so 3 on 5 as Nifty is with the bomb at Ivy, and his 2 teammates are lurking towards B at the moment, so awkward push as we see Rush takes down Nifty, and now the bomb so far away from where Uber and Relics are at.
Yeah, now it's just Daps in the same spot that he's been in. No flashes are going to be able to capture that area because he can just duck onto the side of the train, and Pop Dog is just a very, very strong position if you don't have anybody coming out from inner upper to kind of crossfire that area when you're coming out from lower, and now it's just going to be down to Relic to try to make something happen. That pre-fire looked like it could have been on the mark, but I mean, again, there's that stranglehold in Mixwell. He's just not giving a crap. Going to take the peak, takes down Relics, and 11-0. That money bonus has been ramping up ever since round 5. So they're plenty well enough to at least continue to try to buy. And at this point, they need to continue to buy and try to put a round on the board here. Because, I mean, if this gets 12, 13 rounds for OpTic before Selfless even gets around, if they even get around this half,
yeah,
I mean, they're in serious trouble right here. And it makes that terrorist side, it's like Garrett said, it makes that terrorist side pick look really silly.
It really does, as we'll see.
Maybe they did it so they'd lose this, and then they would have to play Tempo Storm going into tomorrow. Is that, I think,
right,
that, is
like
that how it's going to work? Maybe that's how it works. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a long day, as we'll see. Daps
able to drop. Sick flash. You see that from Nafly?
Did not. I'm not going to lie to you. As I think he delayed everything, though. I think that was the idea. So now Selfless kind of caught in an awkward spot here, and they have no map control outside of this kind of Brown Hall's presence.
Well, up here on inner upper, he actually just banked the flash off of the little between the glass panels on the top side, and it landed right in front of all of the terrorists that were trying to come in. So that was actually, if you didn't double scope, but the little frame there of the glass that's up at the top, he actually banked it off the frame, and it landed right in their faces and stopped that whole push. Flashbang down through ladder room. They're going to go for a peek here, but there is a player up on top of the ladder, or up on top of the train. That's Rush. And he's looking for some more kills. He's hungry right now because he's actually at the bottom at 9-5. That's difficult to say when you're going into the 12th round and your bottom fragger, only, air quotes, bunny fingers, has 9 frags.
So it looks like eventually Selfless will end up committing into the B-bomb site here, and this is This is looking like Daps, as long as he can hold it. Stanislaw able to take down Relics, and now Daps. Again, he holds behind that smoke, and that's so critical that he just stays alive there as he finds another triple kill for Daps and make it a quad in the end as he cleans up the round.
Give that man all the RWS going into this one. Give him all the efficacy because he just held that like a boss. Sure, they get the bomb plant, but at this point they've got the money bonus anyway that it doesn't really make a difference in regards to their buy, especially with the light buy that they went into that last round with. They're going to be full buying into this one. So the bomb plant, I mean, at this point, bomb plants don't really matter for OpTic as long as their retakes are on point and they continue to put the rounds on the board. And I mean, still, you've got 4 players out of 5 that are over 14 or over $11,000 even after the buy down. So, I mean, that's disgusting in its own right. But the fact that they're up 12-0 right now, I really expected to see some sort of trickery out of Selfless, some sort of strategy come out from these guys that, you know, we hadn't really seen before because they're not the strongest trained team. They've been able to get some upsets on this map, but the biggest thing is, oh, that was crazy from Mixwell. He just barreled up ladder room. If he would have hit a no-scope falling off of the ladder or something like that, I'd have been done.
Yeah, that would have been quite the ridiculous play. As it looks like he's getting more aggressive here.
Well, Mainline's in a good spot here. He's gotten out through T-Con. He's looking for Rush. But that shoulder peek just destroys him.
Yeah, Rush able to come up big there as Mainline falls, and it'll be a 4-on-5. And again, so difficult to come back from the player disadvantage on the T side of this map. They've got 2 players towards Ivy, 2 players towards B, and the bomb is in T-Con. So they got a minute to play with. That is a silver lining here for the Selfless side, but
the scary thing is Mixwell is actually pushing up into T-Con right now. So if they go back to try to recover the bomb, he's got all this vision. He's going to turn this corner here and come down towards Ivy.
Hello.
Boom. By Mitch. Nifty. Going to get the refrag because he does have the AWP into this round. But again, that hurts. And you know that it's just like Mixwell is feeling it right now. He's got no cares in the world. Playing the backside is going to be Stanislaw, so he picks up another frag as well. He's up to 17-3. Daps is 14-3. So, I mean, it's a team effort right now for the OpTic side, but it's, I mean, nothing is working for Selfless. It's a 4-on-2, and their trades are just so abysmal right now. It's just it's hard to watch.
Relic's going to go down to Rush. Nifty. He's able to trade off 2 of his teammates, but he needs to clutch to keep this dream alive as he takes down Daps. Now a 1v2. Commits to the bomb plant, but he's got players on either side of him. Needs to create a 1v1, spots out the Ivy player, but that will set up Stanislaw on the 1-2 punch. That was exactly what happened with Daps and Stanislaw on the B-bomb site earlier in the round. Daps pulls attention, Stanislaw peeks, and they call it a round.
Well, that's one of the things, too. You know, Daps is, I still feel like Daps is an underrated player as far as, you know, being a player and an endgame leader and everything like that. Like, they don't have a coach for OpTic. He does it all. He's basically the manager, the coach,
hearing that he does all that stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty insane when you think about all of that. But like he came to play in this one. I mean, he's 14-4, and again, it's like you said, it's he wasn't concerned about getting the kill in that situation. He was concerned about distracting.
Yeah, exactly.
And it ends up working out really, really well for his team. So Nifty with the opener this time. I think this is one of the first rounds that we've actually seen the advantage go the way of Selfless to start things off. So maybe there's whispers that they're going to get around.
Follow it up, so it's not a bad look. Mixwell, though, still alive, and he takes down Mainline. Traded off by Uber. Stanislaw, though, comes up with 1. And Daps actually takes some damage going through that Molotov, but they'll group up towards Ivy, and the bomb is actually in an awkward spot, but Nifty. He's coming alive with the op. I just think it's a little too late at this moment as Daps is trying to keep that flawless streak alive. Eventually, Selfless, they are on the board. But moving into the last round of the first half.
Too little, too late. I just feel like that's going to be way too little, too late. I mean, Selfless is going to have to, I mean, they have to win pistol round, period. There's no chance if they lose pistol round, even if they get the second round here. It'd have to be a force-up buy with like Meg 7s and 5-7s into the anti-eco rounds or the force-up rounds. But at this point right now, I mean, they're hurting so bad. And again, you know, keep beating a dead horse at this point where it's like you question that pick going on Terra's side. They've gotten 1 round out of 14 coming into the final round of the half. This is just, it's an abysmal start to this from Selfless, and they're going to push through a smoke on the A-bomb site again, or B-bomb site, pardon me. And it's Daps solo holding, and Mitch is going to be able to get forward on this, but Daps is ready for it. Loses the battle, but does good damage. And Stan, of course, trades it immediately back, and that's what OG has been so good at throughout this tournament so far.
Rush with that Scar 20, Mixwell with the AWP, and Relics and Nifty It's looking bleak for them here as it's only relics and maybe some mind games to be played. Not going to be so. Stanislaw finds the triple kill and Mixwell with two. Just OpTic so dominant. And, of course, there's literally only one scoreline that gets better than what they just received. So, hard to say anything bad about OpTic there. Selfless, on the other hand, to go back to that point, again, the T-side start, you got to think that if they started CT side, we're going to see how much they can get done, but I almost...
Well, they lose pistol round, they're not going to get a chance to get anything done.
Right?
That's the whole point.
Even if they lose pistol round, I can't even say that it's maybe their pistol round that is bad per se. It's more that they're at a point where you can just easily count yourself out of this. So they're a team that they are experienced enough that they can take it round for round, but it's still so difficult at the point they're at. You got one round to work with. You literally need that flawless CT side. You have to.
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly what it is. They're going to have to rattle off 15 straight rounds here, or if they do drop one round, they're going to have to save a tremendous amount of match points. I mean, we saw Liquid versus NIP at the ESL Pro League where they were down. NIP was down 14-2, and they managed to bring it back and win in double overtime. However, that was on Dust 2.
Yeah.
This is Train.
And NIP Magic, right?
And NIP Magic, of course. I've never heard Selfless Magic. Maybe they can make it a thing if they do make this comeback happen. But
I think Ryu might have some magic, but I just don't know if it's enough for this.
It's possible, but man, I'm telling you, it's just that was hard to watch that first half. That was really hard. I'm so befuddled by that terrorist side pick. I mean, you have the option of Train, one of the most heavily CT-sided maps in the game right now, aside from maybe Nuke or
even if you're not confident on it, right? Like, it's still going to give yourself a better shot.
Yeah, and if you only get like 6 or 7 rounds on the CT side, at least you give yourself a buffer going into the second half. But to get 1 round out of 15 in the first half, you've got no room for error moving forward here. And you're more prone to be able to pick up, 5, 6, 7 rounds on the CT side of this map. Terrorist side, it's not the easiest map to lay it down on terrorist side. So, I mean, it's questionable. Hopefully they get everything sorted out. But we are going live into the second half here, guys. Pistol round coming at you. And OpTic, they've only dropped 3 rounds so far today in their 2 matches. Let's see if they can keep it that way as we move forward here. Are they going to be able to take the pistol round? Sproul, why don't you take us away?
There we go. Selfless. Desperately need this one, and the next, and the next, and the next, and I will not continue that because it'll get ridiculous. Selfless. They'll boost Uber up inside a connector here, and it's going to be a quick play from OpTic into the A-bomb site. Naf is actually waiting towards Ivy, expecting maybe some pressure, but Mitch, what a shot from him up in heaven as he takes down Rush, looking for a second one, but this is a vulnerable spot. He needs teammates to help him out, and Nifty will do exactly that as he's able to trade off now a 4-on-3, and this is a start we needed to see, but we'll see OpTic take towards the back trains, and they're going to go around the world here.
Yeah, the big thing is that they were able to spot a number of players on the outside train yard, so they were able to gather a lot of info, and then they knew to push towards the back lines of the train yard. And with that being said, Mainline's head just got spotted over here in the Z connector, so this is going to be a really difficult play from them, especially, there you go. And there's a flank coming in as well, so that's really scary.
Where was Mitch in all
How
this?
did Mixwell, yeah, that's what I want to know. How did Mixwell get into Z connector? Did he come back out through ladder room and go into Z? Because he just backstabbed gooshed a player, and now Mitch goes down outside. They can rotate the bomb. Look at the bomb. It's going all the way back around from CT to the back train lines because the rotation came all the way back inside. They split the defenses, and they pick off both of those players. So for a round that looked great for Selfless to start, it's just a little bit of clever play from OpTic Gaming. I love that. That was great. But again, it sends you questioning.
Yeah.
What was Mitch watching? He was over at Hell. He let a player walk all the way from ladder into Z and backstab his teammate. And with that being said, OpTic Gaming up the match point already 16 rounds into this one.
Yeah, again, so
we got a stopwatch on how long this match is taking? I feel like it was awful fast.
It's been a quick one, certainly. I'm going to defend Mitch a little bit here in that he was spotted at Heaven, and it was a player that came from Old Bomb, and I think he went to Ivy to play alone. So, like, the player creeped up Old Bomb and then went into Z, and he was just not there to really... It's
timing.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's super unfortunate, and if he is solo there, really he should be watching that flank. But sad times as we will move into potentially the last round here. Selfless looked promising at the halfway point in that pistol round, but couldn't complete it, and now it looks like it's going to be a short one.
Well, Selfless getting aggressive on the inside bomb site. Rush, though, he's watching for it, and that's so clever. again, I mean, he's just going to hold this angle right now. Just wait to see if they push through. But Mixwell goes down. Mainline's going to be able to open up. Nafly again. See, that's the trades that I'm talking about. And it's a positive trade, too, because he gets a 2-for-1. And that's going to swing the advantage back into the way of OpTic Gaming. They've got Mitch at 16 HP, Mainline at 46. Mitch off the board now altogether. And it's just a Desert Eagle and a salvaged AK to work with. Relix is in an interesting position. He's gone all the way around from Ivy's side to be able to get the backstab here in T-Con, but the big thing is it's a 1v4 now. And all 4 of the remaining terrorists have full health, and there's one over here in ladder room. He does manage to find the one onto Rush. He spots out another one, but that's going to be all she wrote. Stanislaw shutting it down. Big match from Stan and the rest of OpTic. They're going to be the top seed going out. 3 rounds lost for them throughout this first day of competition, and it was a dominant performance. Don't play them on train. They're 32-3 today.
Look damn good on it, that is for certain. And Selfless, they're not out of it. They will drop down now, and they got a best of 3 to play out. So not all is lost, but that does mean OpTic will move forward. So congratulations to them. And yeah, I think we've kind of covered in all the lulls in the action how that kind of went down and that OpTic, how dominant they were and how it panned out. So yeah, it's difficult to really say what Selfless could have done with that T-side start. Like, I feel like the T-side start is almost like, to compare it to a fighting reference, it is a bit of a haymaker. Like, you are setting yourself up in a way that you are very vulnerable, but if you land that shot, if you win that pistol round and maybe even get that first rifle, maybe it's impactful enough that if you think you're an awful trained team, maybe that's the wild card they were going for. But it's hard. You're grasping at a lot here.
Yeah, and the thing for me really is that they didn't really show me anything on the terrorist side that would have warranted that pick. That's really the biggest thing for me is, like, you're going to pick T-side. I expect you to come out with something crazy. I expect you to come out with something awesome. That's like when Navi played Luminosity at the MLG Major when they were talking about, oh, we got all these crazy boosts for Overpass.
Yeah.
And you never saw them because they never had an opportunity to do it because they got beat up so bad in that matchup on Overpass. So, I mean, it's a similar yet different situation here where, okay, you're going to have the bold pick. You're going to go onto the terrorist side of Train. That is a bold pick.
Certainly.
But then they just don't bring anything to the table. They don't bring anything real wild coming out there. So I was a little disappointed to see that.
Certainly. So we do have the analyst desk ready for you guys. So we're going to throw it back to Puckett. See you guys later.
Thank you very much, Sprawl and Mega Man. Shout out to Mega Man. He looks like my college professor. He's a wise man. Seriously, no. Does no one else see that?
See his reaction. It's like,
nice. I like it. No, don't come
He's
down
in his
here.
30s. You can grow
We're
a beard.
busy.
All right.
He's a kindergarten teacher.
All right, so let's stay away from children, Mega Man. All right, let's continue, guys. We got to close out strong. Sorry. So
Nice.
this last match, you guys called it coming in. You picked T-side. Terrible idea. Well, you get 1 round out of it.
I just want to say that I hope there was a glitch in the TV that said they picked T-side when they actually didn't.
It could be.
I'm hoping it's a glitch because I stand by what I said, and that was an idiotic decision. That makes no sense to me. Why would you do
was
that?
ego and
you brought
hubris.
up a great point we're talking about in the room, that you have a team that's new. Young guys, new guys.
Yep.
Only been to a couple lands, and they're fresh. And you're going to pick T-side on a very C-decided map, especially in like the NA scene at least.
Yep.
And you're going to put them up against a wall such as that when you're new.
Right.
Against a team that's more experienced. They've been in international events, whether this as them 5 is together, but in general they've been in international events. They're really good players, and you're gonna hey, good luck.
We got this.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I think it might have been on Ryu's part, but I'm not sure.
We're going to talk to Ryu.
It's all-
after.
it's all-
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can ask him. So
It's all in the
I'm
coach's
gonna so a little bit of ego and hubris. If you demo review, you're gonna say, okay, I think that Nafly loves to push Ivy. He does it with an op. He does it with a Colt. They constantly manage Ivy all the way down to the T side. So I bet you he watched the demo and he's like, look, this is what they're going to do. They're going to take Ivy control and we're going to push them back. If you're going to review a demo, then you need to understand the fundamentals of Counter-Strike. Is that a dig at Ryu? Probably, because if he did this, if he didn't, all good. But if he did, then you would have to understand that you can't do that if they're only playing 1 inner half the time.
Yeah.
So the way it works with Counter-Strike, specifically on Train, you got to push them back and make them play 2 inner, and then they only can have 1 per entrance, 1 ladder, 1 T mid, 1 Ivy. So they had 2 Ivy the whole time, and so you're playing two players against 2, funneled in one entrance, and then they just use their utility all the time and just stall and peek and flash. They never got anything going.
Yeah.
So
We were talking about, like, again, about not taking Brown on control. Whenever they did, it was like a minute, like 50 seconds to a minute into the round when they're like, okay, let's take Brown on control. And by that point, like, it was just 50 seconds wasted.
Yeah,
that they could have used going down ladder at least. Or
I feel like we've been pretty critical today, guys. Since we're wrapping up the show, let's
Okay,
send
let's be
everyone home
positive.
with a
Sorry,
happy
sorry.
smile.
Okay,
Sorry.
positive. I
So-
want
OpTic
to see
played
good
great again.
CS.
OpTic played great again. They showed that they were a force.
Okay.
Like they played again.
Yeah.
They played
Actually-
their city side communication and like their actual like teamwork when they were retaken inside several times. It was like on point.
Yeah, it was great actually.
Like-
I have hope for them to be the #1 North American team. To be
Really?
honest. Yeah, I actually think that
They have the
all
skill
the
for it.
pieces. They have the skill. I feel like
How long before they can take
If-
down
to take that?
CLG,
If they hire
Cloud9, and
Garrett,
Liquid?
I'm not
If
even
they
worried.
hire
I'm not
Garrett-
even worried about C9 or CLG to be honest with these guys in that sense. I think you can just take them. They're
go
only
straight to Liquid.
they're only.
they're on no, because they have really low lows. Okay.
Oh
They're
no,
doing
don't
great.
be they're hot and fire. But
Yeah.
any day they can just smash those teams if they want.
I mean,
They gotta get that moment. Like what we're talking about, the
if they get the right
consistency.
support, if OpTic gets them the right support on possibly an analyst, possibly a coach, and then they really help free Daps up and Stanislaw to really focus on their own games.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stanislaw is great. I think Daps could, if he got to really focus on himself rather than all the things that he's doing currently, I think to help support the team.
Even outside the game, like
Yeah.
not even necessarily in-game
Yeah.
stuff, but like outside of the game
I
stuff. that
don't
they
see a
need-
manager here with them. Maybe I missed them. I mean, like they have. I feel like they have a great core that they can do something great with.
Yeah, they just need to load lighten up.
I like
Yeah.
it. You know, add in the coaches, free up the players a little bit. But how about this pickup? Mixwell.
Yeah.
They
wow.
bring him in, and this guy, it feels like, you know, when Simple first came over to Liquid, making a name for himself. I mean, he's a lot less drama this time around, a lot less eyes on him. But
Yeah,
I feel like he is really living up to all the expectations and even more than that.
More than that, yeah.
He seems humble.
Yeah, he seems like he's everything that you'd want in a pickup from an international team. He's coming in, he's quiet, he's doing his job. You don't see too much. I think it's a great pickup. I think
You see the plays he makes in game too.
and
Like he makes smart
credit
plays.
to Daps. He said I think he's the one that
Recruited
supported the. Yeah, he did all the research. He's like I watched this
advisement.
guy, I studied it. So
He plays
from
smart.
getting cut from Liquid, right? From getting cut from Liquid and
Yep.
then having to re-find himself
Mm-hmm.
and develop a team, because I believe that he was on a team with Fugly and they had a really good run with that, and then got cycled, the mix with Liquid, and then he got ousted, and now he's back. I have a lot of respect for what he's done.
I like what he's building here with OpTic Gaming. They look to be improving event after event. Let's take a look at the big picture, though. If you guys are just joining us at the end of the broadcast, here's what happened in Group A. It was Tempo versus TSM, and really a one-sided affair. Later, though, we saw Team Caliber facing off against NRG, and there were moments where we thought that Caliber's just going to finish this. Energy's going to fall out. Instead, Peter and the boys from Energy bounced back. They played Tempo. Unfortunately, it went 16-13 in favor of Tempo. So Tempo locks in a spot in our playoff bracket. Energy will have to play against TSM later tomorrow to see who will be that second team from Group A. Over in Group B, though, James, break it down for me. How did today work out?
I think OpTic Gaming we all knew was going to come through. We really hoped. I hoped, because I thought that.
I didn't hope. We knew.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sometimes they have a little shaky, but I really feel like with Mixwell, it really supported them. So yeah. Okay. And then now you have Winout and Selfless Gaming. From what we saw from Winout versus Winterfox, and what we saw from Selfless, that actually might be a game. You know, like
Yeah, like I'm.
3 total round wins from their opponent today for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah.
But now Selfless, do they have any doubt going into their match against Winout, or are you still super confident?
They are the team that plays confident. I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm sure this dings them a bit, but like
Yeah.
they've been destroyed on land before. But like they've done what, like they've come back and done like they did well the next one. So their confidence is always
Yeah.
going to be there. They're never stood not short on confidence.
So I picked on Ryu, but he's going to bring a lot of.
They're going to prepare for this.
Yeah,
completely.
they're going to prepare. They're going to feel. But I mean, they can't prepare that much. How much do we know about Winout? They're going to watch like the demos from today.
You know what?
Right?
You're right.
Yeah, so
They
there might
know-
be a
they
little
probably
bit of
know not-
fear, like what are we getting into? You know, but.
They're going to ban the map that they won on.
Yeah, but I think that Ryu will come in with it. Like you said, that they play the exact same way they do online as they do on LAN.
That's one thing. If I could touch on that, that's one thing I have to credit them is that they online, like when they destroyed a lot of people online, they did very well. People, and then they went online the first time they got destroyed. People were like, oh, these guys are onliners. But I gave him credit and Ryu credit. I think Richard Lewis didn't like it at all. Didn't like just was calling them onliners, but I give credit to teams that like when they don't do well in LAN, but they still played the same way as they do online. It just like whether it's right or wrong. At least they stuck to what they did, rather than being a team that you destroy online and then you go online
play
and it's
careless.
like
Oh, now we play
completely
serious.
different.
We're gonna play some serious Counter-Strike and not
safe.
peek anything.
Yeah,
and
like,
then they just get beat up on.
So I gave them credit for that, but at the same time now, if they say let's say they lose a win out, like I don't think it's gonna happen, but if they lose it, they got it. Like their play styles, no.
I think they played great. I think they played the way that they tried to play today. It just wasn't the right way. So.
We'll see how they play tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, we have the full schedule for you guys right here. It's going to be all best of threes. NRG plays Team Solo Mid. That is going to kick off at noon right after our pregame show. Win Out takes on Selfless. And then we'll see OpTic Gaming facing off against the winner of our 12 o'clock match. Will it be NRG or will TSM be able to pull off that upset? Make sure you guys stay tuned all day tomorrow. Of course, those times are Eastern. Thank everyone for joining us today. Garrett and James, you guys killed it in your first time being at the desk. And big congratulations to you, James. A baby at home, tuning in with mom. How old is she now?
6 days, I believe. 7 days. 7 days old.
7 days old.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
She's a cutie.
We'll let you go. Get some FaceTime action in before she naps. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, 11:45 a.m. right here on twitch.tv/MLG.